welcome to another video from Egne. Today we are going to go more into depth about not only your repetition, your honor, how to achieve it, what's the best things to focus on as far as building enhancements, anything like that, and generally just how to have a higher output of season special lands on the island. But before we go into that, I have to go into our usual dialogue. There will be a Discord link down in the description below. This is a community tool that we have tons of very knowledgeable people in there, but as it is a community tool, there's absolutely no being mean to each other, no bullying, anything like that will get you kicked and banned immediately. Now, as I can continue to put out content, eventually YouTube will start monetizing my content. When they do, what I'm going to do is for the first 3 months of any monetized gain from these videos will be given away in a bi-weekly raffle to whoever is in the Discord and subscribed to my YouTube. After the 3 months, it will be 25% will be given away on a monthly basis to those that are subscribed and in my Discord. So invite your friends, hit that subscribe button. Let's see where we can go with this. So let's get into the basics of your honor, repetition, etc. because they all tie hand in hand to be able to increase your honor throughout. Now, granted, to really achieve high honor, you do have to spend on getting resin and such, but we'll go into that in a little bit. But as far as for free to play, these are the things that you can do. So the very first thing to take into account is your nodes, because each of your tile nodes gives you repetition. I believe it is, I have to look at that, but I believe for the amount of tiles that you have, each tile gives you like 1,000. Doesn't matter on the level, but it gives you 1,000 honor. But what this also does is, depending on the level of the tile, which is when it actually matters, increases the output of how many of those season ants that you get per hour that you collect, which each season ant is a certain amount of honor that you gain from just simply collecting them and having them. So if we'll look, occupation details, there you go. Yes, so, and as you increase your honor, it's also increasing how many nodes you can actually take. Now, as your alliance increases in influence, that also increases how many nodes that your entire alliance can take. So, for you personally, you can get up to 80 nodes for your personal honor. Your alliance on top of that is another 20. Then you have the milestones on top of it, which give you extra nodes as well. So all of that equals up to, as long as you're getting all your nodes and such. I haven't been able to because we've been doing some fighting and I've been busy with my real life. And frankly, we're in an area that doesn't really have a lot of nodes. So I have not yet successfully gotten all of my nodes. But that's the one main thing. That's a huge chunk of your honor right there. Now, getting into repetition. Repetition is gained by hitting enemies, killing soldier troops, hitting buildings, destroying durability on buildings, etc., etc. Pretty much any of the actual core functions of the island is how you get those, how you get your repetition up. Most of mine comes from fighting. Honestly, any of your rally leads, that's why we kind of suggest to boost the rally leads in the beginning, so that once you actually get to fighting, they'll always be up there in the top because they're obviously stronger than the rest of the allies. But as you can see, like for me, it gives an extra 20% output for my season ants, which increases your honor along the way as well. And I can even go and show you, my honor's a little bit lower right now because I don't have any buildings typically that I could do, which I'll get into that next. I don't have any buildings I can do, so I save all my resin for building day, so that way I can actually get some shells on building day. But to go and show it for you, I'm doing mine completely free to play. I still have a couple days, well, tomorrow actually, that I'll be able to do my building enhancements and increase it, and I probably will end up right around 12th to 15th place. But I'm not spending on resin at all, which we'll get into that in a little minute. Now, actually, I guess we'll get into it now. So in the pack shop, there's of course the resin that you could buy each day, $5, and then it gets a $10 pack. But personally, for me, I don't like to buy things that I'm not keeping with me at all times. I find that as a kind of a waste of money. So I personally don't do it, and frankly, it doesn't really affect the overall income or outcome on the island, as long as you focus on some very key buildings for the island, which we'll get into right now. So with the buildings are actually one of your biggest sources of honor, besides obviously your tiles and how many actual soldier ants that you have. But if you look, like for this one, for instance, it's like my next level will be another 100 and 200 and 15 honor. So that's not bad at all, especially for only 890 resin. And as you can see, like I said, I've been saving all of my resin. To get resin, you get it from for free to play anyway. You get it from first occupancy on buildings. You get it for doing certain achievements and stuff that are on the island. You get it from each hornet gives you about 10 or up to 10. Each lizard or gecko gives you, I think it's 30. I'll have to go look at that. I believe it's 30. Yeah, oh no, up to 360 for the first one, plus 190. So you just doing your lizards each day is a huge benefit. I haven't been able to do my hornets really because we have been fighting. But you want to get that resin. And then when you get into the actual building enhancements, so if you're being free to play, what I suggest is trying to follow basically the achievements that you get, which is like a certain number of buildings have to be like level 8 and 12, and I forget what order it is. But there's key buildings that you really want. So the one thing that you definitely want to focus on are things that give you an overall general buff to all of your troops. And this isn't like when it's, fighting for a fortress or anything like that. So it'd be things like for your queen. Queen's obviously one of the higher honor increases anyway, but it gives you all these buffs of increasing attack, increasing defense, increasing health. Yes, it's a little more spendy than the other ones, but very worth it. Then what I suggest is at least what you main as. So I'm shooter main. You definitely want to have that one increased and up there pretty high. I also run Guardians in one of my March, so I worked on the Guardian building as well. Going back over the Alliance Center gives increased health to season ants for all your season ants, so that's a major help, and that's a general buff that you want. Evolution Fungi gives increased attack of season ants. Again, another general buff that you want. And as you can see, like for my carriers, since I don't do anything with carriers, I just leave that as 0. I'm free to play as far as my resin, and I'm not going to waste it on things that I have no use of anyway. Then I have the increased defense season soldier ants from the entrance. Now, as I was getting higher in the achievements, like it requires you to have more buildings, so I just kind of picked one at random. So that's why I have this one when fighting a fortress. But you really don't need the ones that are fighting for fortresses. Same with this one. Don't really need it. This one also didn't need it. Now, the only other generalized one that you have is your Pro Rally Center, which gives you the increased attack of soldier ants, increased defense, increased health. Obviously something that you absolutely want. The other rally centers, the only thing that they do is increase the durability that you get from hitting, essentially. And honestly, there's really no use to ever upgrade those except for the achievement, because all these buildings are so severely weak anyway that any good balanced team should be able to plow through them pretty easily. I know with my alliance, I actually have to step back sometimes because I'm typically wiping out all of the troops and hitting durability in the first hit by myself, which obviously isn't fair to other people trying to get their achievements and etc. So that pretty much covers everything as far as honor and your resin use and your repetition. As always, if you guys have questions or comments, or if I forgot something, feel free to say it down in the comments below or in our Discord channel. If you have any suggestions, please say so in the comments below or in the Discord, preferably Discord, because this one I'm able to check a lot more often. But we love to have video ideas, and anything that you want covered, I will be happy to cover it. So anyway, with that, Agni is out.